young and strong and sexy. No, just like I was with your grandfather.
That's a bit morbid thinking about death now, right?
No, I'd rather be prepared for that, you know. You never know what will happen. I want you all to be prepared for my funeral. I want the best funeral ever. The best flowers, the most handsome man present.
I really hope you
We need to start preparing now. Do either of you know how to prepare the best funeral ever?
Mamma mia! What dream was that? Ma, is this you giving me a sign? I'd better ring John now.
Yeah?
But boy, Ma thinks Ma doesn't have much longer to live anymore. But Ma wants to prepare, just like Nana.
Wait, what time is it? Ma, it's 6 a.m. Can you call me back another time?
Don't interrupt Ma when I'm talking. Today is Friday, right? Tomorrow you're coming over, right? Your younger brother, he's too busy with his SMU studies.
But, Ma...
Remember your Nana. We help fulfill her wishes, remember? I want you to do the same for Ma. Can or not?
Can. Okay, Ma, you win. Okay?
Slipping through my fingers all the time, I try to capture every minute, the feeling in it. Slipping through my fingers.
And I want all of this to be done. This and this,
Mama,
okay?
you slow down, okay? Slow down, it does exactly what you need, okay? Then, and I will try to do it for you. Okay? Just tell us what you need.
I'm sorry. It's just that these days, time seems to be slipping through my fingers way too quickly. But firstly, boy, you know how people always wear black and white at these things? I hate black and white. And I want my friends and relatives to wear my favorite colors, pastels. Baby blue, yellow, and... Look at Bobo's laptop, pink, especially pink. Shana? Pink? ஐயோ இது வேற எத்தனை வாட்டி சொன்னாலும் இதுக்கு தெரியாது. And next, you know how people always take pictures at the super atas places? I want my guests to be able to do that. I want them to experience what you would call a... what's that thing again? Polaroid picture moment. The rest of it, I let you youngins decide, okay?
Ma, it's called Instagram, no more Polaroid. To be honest, I think it's really grand they are doing this. Come, see what I found through my StackX project.
But Ma, just checking, you're planning for a funeral, right? Not a wedding or birthday party?
Aiya, girl, I told you, we must prepare for such things.
Yeah, my StackX project is on such things now. It's called Hatch, Match, Dispatch, and we actually studied.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Josh. I'm David.
I'm Chloe.
I'm Simri.
And together, we are the Big Helpers! We're so excited to be with you to share our analysis on the 3 stages of life: hatch, match, and dispatch. And gathering data for our survey went all across Singapore, from north to south, east to west, serving both the young and the old. In total, how many responses do you think we got? 50?
500?
A bit more than that. Let's turn to our Galton board for the answers. Got 5, 1, 8, 6. 5 5,186 respondents. Let's take a quick look at how we got there. Hey, look at that! 5,186 respondents. You know, this number reminds me of something that happened in 2007. Can either of you guess what it is?
Was it when Miss Cheng fell into the longkang and everything toppled onto her?
Was it when Mr. and Mrs. Cheng got married?
No, it's not about the match stage, but about the hatch stage. On the 18th of June 2007, our computer controller Sim Wee turned 5 years old.
Speaking of birthdays, did you know that out of 5,186 respondents, there's an almost 100% chance that it's one of your birthdays today?
And that calls for a celebration.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you! Let's now run through the data we've collected. We first asked our respondents where they think Singapore ranks globally for fertility, marriage, and life expectancy. What do you think, Josh?
Well, with such eligible young men like David around, I'm sure our country's fertility rate is going to go through the roof.
Thanks, Josh.
Well, I'm afraid not. In fact, 60% of our respondents actually feel that Singapore's fertility rate is low. But don't worry about it.
Our Direct Funeral Services CEOs are working to change that. In fact, every time that Direct Funeral Services has collaborated with StatX, Mr. and Mrs. Cheng have had a baby.
This means that there's a 100% correlation between collaborating with Direct Funeral Services for StatX and our population increasing by 1.
The R value for this correlation is 1.0000. Never heard of before.
Well, that's great for the hatch stage. But what about the match stage? I'm single and ready to mingle.
Well, I'm afraid Singapore's not ready for you, Josh. In fact, a large proportion of our respondents actually feel that the marriage rate is low or moderate. But one good thing is that 51.50% of our respondents feel that our life expectancy is high. To sum up, for Singapore's perceived global rankings, in third place is fertility.
In second place is marriage.
And finally, in first place, we have life expectancy.
Wait, hold up. Look at all these beautiful drawings. Do you think that we took this off the internet? No! Our StatX classmates took many hours to draw this.
As a sign of appreciation, let's give them a round of applause.
Moving back to statistics, it seems that Singaporeans all seem to think that we live very long lives.
Since Singaporeans seem to think that we live very long lives, we expect them to plan for the major stages: hatch, match, and dispatch.
But is that really true?
Is there a significant relationship between life stage and whether planning is done?
Come, let's ask my friend Seth here. He has done the statistics for us. Since the absolute differences exceed the critical range, there is a significant relationship between life stage and whether planning has been done. Come, moving on. Here are the percentages of respondents who plan for their major life stages: hatch, match, and dispatch. 96.55% of respondents plan for their marriages,
while 92.81 plan for baby arrival.
However, only 53.01% of our respondents plan for their end-of-life affairs.
Wait, what? Singaporeans don't plan for their end-of-life affairs? That's so weird. Ma and Nana have clearly planned theirs.
Speaking of planning, how has COVID-19 affected your plans?
For me, I've heard great things about Miss Cheng's lessons, like how we get to test the hypothesis of Murphy's Law being true. Murphy's Law states that if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. During Miss Cheng's lessons, we find out the probability of bread landing butter side down. However, because of COVID-19, Miss Cheng had to do all these experiments by herself.
David? When I was a kid, I was very fat. I drank a lot of soft drinks. I could tell the difference between Coke and Pepsi. So I wanted to come down to Miss Ching's physical class to show off my skills. But because of COVID, Miss Ching had to do this all by herself.
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's Pepsi. Might be Coke.
The one in the middle, but nearer to you.
This one?
Yeah.
For me, I had a baby cousin born during the COVID-19 era. Her name is Victoria. Look at how cute she is.
Aww.
I was so excited to travel back to the UK and see her in person. But unfortunately, because of COVID, I wasn't able to go. Our respondents felt that COVID affected them as well. Although perhaps not as much for the hatch or match stages, when it came to the dispatch stage, over 55% of respondents felt that COVID caused them to think more about death, whether indicating that it made them think about it sometimes, a lot of the time, or all the time.
See, SMU is good quality education.
Huh? But where got funeral with pink dress one? And also, are you sure you want an atas venue? Very expensive eh.
Hiya, girl lah, this is my funeral, you know. Just use my condolence money lah. The rest can use my savings.
So, Ma, your paid Kim, how you want us to collect?
I know. Instead X we saw.
Actually, David, let me ask you a question.
What is it, Chloe?
Will you say no to digital money as a gift?
Of course not lah. Whenever I play mahjong with Nana and Ma, I always lose so much money. I'll take anything that I can get.
Well, you'll be surprised to find out that our respondents actually think differently. Look at all the data we've collected over here. I'm here to simplify it for you. For baby showers, our respondents are okay with giving digital money as gifts. Likewise, for weddings, our respondents are also okay with giving digital money as gifts. However, for funerals, our respondents are uncomfortable with giving digital money as gifts.
Since the lower limit of dispatcher's confidence interval exceeds the upper limit of hatch and match's confidence intervals, we can conclude that there's a significantly larger proportion of people against giving digital condolence gifts.
What is the modal reason for people saying no to giving digital money as gifts? Could it be because people prefer cash in the flesh? Sheesh! Another reason could be because of fear due to cybersecurity issues. But the main reason is because it is too impersonal. Aww. And I agree. For these major life stages, hatch, match, and dispatch, we want to be there for our friends and family. We want to show that we care, and we want to show that we are sincere. Giving it online takes this all away.
But what is the relationship between age and comfort giving digital money? Is the relationship dependent or independent?
We wanted to find out too. So we used the chi-square test, and we've derived that it is dependent.
Wait, who are these people saying no to digital condolence gifts?
It's the boomers!
Wait. There seems to be something wrong with the slides. Why is Miss Ching under millennials and Chloe under boomers? Ah, that seems much better. As we can see, the boomers are the ones that are most against giving condolence money digitally. Miss Ching, why like this?
Hiya, all of you. You have a modern ma who is ahead of her time lor. I'm open to all this digital whatnot condolence money.
Okay, condolence money, check. Okay, so Ma, do you actually plan this out ahead of time?
Yeah, I plan ahead of time.
Hey, there is something we can do when little angel is born.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what gift do we want for our little angel?
Finally, we looked at what type of gifts our respondents would like to receive. We gave them options of cash, flowers, vouchers, hampers, and food. Chloe, what would you rather receive?
For me, personally, I love flowers. I mean, if you really want me right, you should chase after me. Girls, you know, we just like to get pampered. Right, girls?
David, what about you?
For me, I would just love to receive money.
Well, that's correct. At the end of the day, what our respondents wanted was cold, hard cash.
Thank you, Singapore!
Ma, just checking. I'm not dreaming, right? You want pastos, a grand venue for a funeral? Not a wedding or birthday party?
Aiya, girl lah. I know this may sound crazy, but this is what I thought about my own ma, which means Rex and John's Nana. These were the exact same things she said to me. But I feel that I'm old enough now, so actually, I went to look at all these funeral packages last year. Wait, pick that up now.
How can you not tell us?
It's just that I thought it'd go up in smoke, just like you are now.
But Ma, we wanted to be part of the process and see the prices.
Yeah, it's so expensive. You bought?
Both of you were about to get married. I doubted you'd be keen.
Wait, just watch this.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last call for flight to dispatch at boarding gate G12. I repeat, this is the last call for flight to dispatch at boarding gate G12.
I'm here.
Stop.
Please tell me I'm on time.
I'm so sorry, Miss Jiaxuan,
I
but
ran
you're
all
late.
the way here.
That's too bad.
Just
I'm
1
sorry.
minute late only. Please.
Flight attendant Xavier, where are you? We're gonna be late for our flight.
Oh yeah, I do need to be on the flight as well. Alright, in that case, Miss Jiaxuan, please follow me.
Yes, thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your Captain Darren speaking.
And I am your fabulous flight attendant Xavier.
And I'm your favorite passenger, Jiaxuan.
On behalf of the crew, we would like to welcome you aboard Flight G12, non-stop service from hatch to match to dispatch. At this time, we would like to wish you pleasant flight with us for the rest of the journey. Hey Stuart Xavier, have you planned for your marriage?
Oh, of course I have. How do you know that?
Well, most people have already planned for their marriage.
Like me, I spent like a year trying to plan for my wedding. But it's the most perfect event ever. I was dressed in
Okay,
such-
stop. It seems like most of us have planned for weddings already.
Anyone else planned for their baby's arrival?
Me, I have. Babies are so adorable.
Well, not me. I need my beauty sleep.
Okay.
It seems like a smaller proportion of people have planned for their baby's arrival than for their wedding.
How about for end of life affairs? Have any of you started planning yet?
I don't see any reasons to.
I mean, as a captain, I'm flying all the time, so obviously I have to take care of these things. I've already planned for it. Attention all cabin crew. As we are preparing for takeoff, we'd like to conclude that there are significant pairwise differences in the proportion of people who have prepared for their weddings, planned for their babies, and planned for their end-of-life affairs.
The proportion of people who have planned for their end of life affairs is the smallest, followed by those who have planned for their baby's arrival. The most significant proportion of people have planned for their marriages.
Alright, okay guys. Wait a minute. We are all still so young. Why would you want to plan for end-of-life affairs? Just like the majority of our survey respondents, they only believe that they should plan for end-of-life affairs when they are 40 to 69 years old, whereas the Gen X population. But you're not Gen X. Why would you all want to plan for end-of-life affairs?
Well, I want to plan for my end-of-life affairs because I spend most of my time flying. If anything happens to me, I don't want my family members to worry about me.
Well, I fly all the time too as well, right? I'm a flight attendant. I think I should start planning too, right?
That's true.
Yes, but from our survey, there are other reasons as to why people want to plan for their end-of-life affairs.
Some of them feel that they don't know or they are unsure. Others have financial legacy. And the rest is because they want to arrange end-of-life care or that they want to make their last wishes known. Lastly, the top two reasons are that they care for their family or that they want to reduce stress for their loved ones.
So, your ma went to look at all these funeral packages last year.
Ma, you could just ask me. I have all the results here, you know.
Aiya, your ma is expert at comparing brands, you know. Like when I was looking around for your Nana's funeral, I compared so many brands. Oh people, we are very good at this.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. May I now request for your full attention as we will be conducting a safety demonstration. In the inevitable event of death, the most recognized exits are Ang Ching Mo Funeral Directors, our wonderful project partners Direct Funeral Services, and Singapore Casket respectively. These exits are so well recognized mainly as a direct result of word of mouth and personal dealings, so please proceed in a calm, orderly manner.
So I went to look at all these different brands.
So Ma, in the end you got buy or not?
No lah, no. Even though I really wanted to, I didn't end up buying because I was still too unsure.
Ma, let my stats help you.
Again.
There are 6 steps to take before we can begin our descent to a final destination, dispatch. Here's what fellow passengers have deemed to be the most important steps. First up is
Writing the will,
followed by
insurance,
next.
signing advance medical directives.
However, many respondents simply stated,
I don't know.
well, there's not really a reason, but whatever. What's next?
Giving someone power of attorney, name of guardians,
And last but not least,
planning their own funeral.
and that concludes our safety demonstration. Please note that smoking is not allowed on our aircraft, except for smoking your way through statistics question, and the Misching law prohibits any tampering with any smoke detectors or raw data. Thank you, and we wish that you enjoy the rest of the flight with us.
Hey, Capitan! Actually, what kind of end-of-life affairs have you arranged?
I've already purchased pre-planned funeral packages. What about you guys?
Okay lor, you good lor, I very unprepared lah.
Hey, why flame? Simply construct a 95% confidence interval. You'll find that the upper limit is way below 0.5. So that means just that very few people have actually done this.
Yeah, since the majority means having a proportion of more than 0.5 and the lower limits are less than that, we can conclude that only a significant minority believe in purchasing pre-planned funeral packages.
Actually, right, I'm not a millennial, so why would I even care about purchasing such pre-planned funeral packages?
What? What does that have to do with anything?
Well, let's conduct a chi-square hypothesis test at 5% significance level. The p-value is extremely low, and as Miss Cheng always says, when the p is low, then all must go!
Wow, Xavier, since when are you so smart?
I'm taking statics. What this means is that one's age does have something to do with whether or not they'll purchase pre-planned funeral packages.
Hang on, does that mean that the older you get, the more likely you'll purchase pre-planned funeral packages?
Nope. My big PH stat brain carried out the Mariscular procedure in order to determine the relationship between age group and the belief in purchasing pre-planned funeral packages. The difference between the age groups is only significant when we are comparing between millennials and Gen X. The percentage of millennials who believe in purchasing such pre-planned packages is the highest, and thus they stand out the most. But why wouldn't you guys buy such packages?
Cause I'm not a millennial, duh.
Did I ask? Anyways, for me, I feel that it's the most unnecessary point in one's life currently.
Did I ask?
Other specific reasons in order of popularity include people simply don't want to think about it, they have a lack of trust in the companies, or they don't have an intention to hold funeral in the first place, or perhaps they don't have time or money.
Did we ask?
Well, anyways, I just feel that I don't need such services right now.
Well, do you really feel that way? Or is it pure chance that you feel that way?
What do you mean?
Let's carry out a chi-square hypothesis test at 5% significance level. The p-value is extremely low, and as Miss Cheng always says, when the p is low, the null must go.
Wow, Xavier, why are you so smart again?
I take stat X.
When do you think is the best time to buy such packages?
In illness or retirement? Maybe never. Ever.
Okay, stop. How about you just choose one point in one's life? The most statistically significant point maybe.
In that case, it'll be illness then.
But why? You didn't explain it to us.
When we conduct a 95% confidence interval, we see that the lower limit for illness is way above all the other limits. Hence, we can conclude that illness is the most statistically significant points in one lifetime where they will purchase a pre-planned funeral package.
Attention! Cabin crew, please prepare for landing. Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at Hatchmatch Dispatch Airport. Local time is COSTAT 1202 hours and the temperature is 100 degrees Celsius. On behalf of the entire crew aboard Flight G12, we thank you for flying Golden Tickets Airlines.
Thank you.
But hey, at least I got my will down, but where's the fun in funeral? I want to be listening to good oldies, even in my death. I want to be listening to good music, even in my spirit.
Ma, like this?
Exactly, Bobo, you get me so well.
yesterday. All my troubles seem so far away. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday.
You know, right, last time we did problem with Nana also. She just dropped this bombshell on Ma and I.
Dear, don't think this way.
Yeah, sis is right. As you all know, I've been slogging on this hatch match dispatch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow I have a presentation with my StatX prof. Is it okay if I share with you all the results so that I can rehearse for it?
Yeah, sure. Shoot, bro. It'll take our mind off, Ma.
Yeah, okay, so...
Greetings everyone, my name is Gabriel.
I'm Baron.
And I'm Taron.
And today we'll take you on an exclusive tour through some iconic and popular places in Singapore. At each of these landmarks and places, we'll look at the different perceptions that Singaporeans have towards end-of-life affairs, as well as the factors that affect them. Before we begin, let's take a look at what we have in our backpack to help us. The survey has given us a lot of data we can work with. First up, we have gender. Based on our survey, 52.72% of our respondents are female, whereas 47.28% of them are male. Based on the confidence interval, in which they are not overlapping, it tells us that there was significantly greater amount of female respondents as compared to the males. And we have two possible reasons for this. So firstly, through the surveys, we found that the female respondents were a lot more open to taking surveys as compared to the males. And I personally found this to be true because my male respondents took a lot more persuasion not to get them to do the survey for me. And for the second reason, since the majority of class is actually female, and female having more female friends, will reach out to even more females to get their survey done for them. Am I right, Baron?
Yes, that's absolutely right. I reached out to more of my female friends than my male friends when asking them to help me do the survey.
Splendid! Next up, we have nationality. A whopping 92.11% of our respondents are Singapore citizens. Now this high percentage is expected since our survey did mainly target Singapore citizens to get their perceptions of end-of-life affairs. And following that, we have age. So the bar chart shows us the number of respondents corresponding to each age range. But to make things simpler, we group them up into three main groups: millennials, which are below 40 years old, taking up 46.49%, Gen X, which are between 40 to 70 years old, taking up 49.29%, and lastly, our dear baby boomers, who are above 70 years old, taking up 4.22%.
As for race, 75% of our respondents are Chinese, 11% are Malays, 9% are Indians, 2% are Eurasians, and the remaining 3% of our respondents belong to other racial groups. And this corroborates with Singapore's demographics quite closely. As for dialect, 我是福建人，
我是潮州人，
我是海南人。
这道理人会使看到，40%的人是福建人，20%的人是潮州人，17%的人是江湖人，5%的人是海南人，2%的人是客家人。As for religion, the bar chart on the screen shows that a majority of our respondents belong to three distinct religious groups, mainly Buddhism, Christianity, as well as free thinkers.
Next up is that of region. Across all of Singapore's 5 districts, the North, Northeast, East, West and Central districts, there was a relatively even spread of respondents throughout, indicating that everyone in Singapore has had a significant stake in our survey, and we thank you very much for that. Next up is education. We have split the educational categories into 4 categories: primary education, secondary education, pre-tertiary and tertiary education. The majority of our respondents held a tertiary education, that of either a diploma, bachelor's degree or postgraduate degree, and this is reflective of Singapore's highly educated workforce.
As for profession, 35% of our respondents are white-collar workers, and this can be attributed to the fact that Singapore's economy is heavily centered on the financial sector, and most of our respondents hold jobs as professionals, managers, executives, and technicians, and all of these are categorized as white-collar jobs.
Alright, with everything you covered so far, we are left with one more item in our backpack, which is extremely important to get us through the different landmarks today. And we have the map. So, based on the map, our first destination would be Jewel. Jewel is one of the most popular dating spots in Singapore for couples, so it only makes sense for us to talk about gender. In Jewel, we're going to take a look at what are Singaporeans' perceptions towards end-of-life affairs, And we can measure this using the end-of-life index. You can think of this index as a scale, with 0 being the most closed and negative, and 100 being the most open and positive to end-of-life affairs. For example, if you have an end-of-life index of 10, it means that you are generally resistant to talking about end-of-life affairs. With a score of 90, you'll be very open to talking about end-of-life affairs. Now, is there a difference in the perceptions between that of males and females? Let's find out. Based on the confidence interval, in which both that of males and females are overlapping, it tells us that there are no significant difference in end-of-life perceptions between that of males and females. And this is further supported by the large p-value of 0.744879, which is greater than the rejection value of 0.05. And since for both the males and females, the range of the ELI scores falls between 47.05 and 48.50, which is below the neutral point of 50, it tells us that both males and females have a slightly negative perception towards end-of-life affairs. And I think that this is actually rather true. What about you guys?
I would think it is true too, for I'm just about neutral.
Well, for me, I'm rather open towards discussing end-of-life affairs, but I do understand why the confidence interval so sharp values, considering that throughout my interview process, most of my respondents are very reluctant to talk about end-of-life affairs.
What about you, Tristan?
Why, Mengwa, paiseh.
See what we have to do when it comes to some of our male respondents? With that, we come to the end of our tour of Jewel. Where are we headed next? Let's take a look at the map. For our next destination, we'll be headed to the Malayan.
Yes, indeed. And since the Malayan is one of the oldest legends in Singapore, it is appropriate here to discuss that of age, or more specifically, is a respondent's ELI score influenced by his age. The first thing we have done is to plot a scatter plot to identify whether there was any linear relationship between the mean ELI score of each age group from under 21 to 90 years old.
And the scatter plot shows a really interesting relationship. The correlation coefficient between average ELI score as well as age is a really small number at 0.0610. And this indicates that a linear relationship does not exist between mean ELI as well as age. And this indicates that even as we grow older, our perceptions towards end-of-life affairs do not really change.
Indeed, if we were to further classify our respondents into three major age generations, the millennials, Gen X, and baby boomers, we can see that the mean ELI score between each of these groups are actually not different at all. This is further evidenced by the high p-value score of 0.4279, indicating that there is simply insufficient evidence to prove that the mean ELI across these three age generations are not equal. To further illustrate this data, we have utilized a confidence interval as well.
From the confidence interval between the age groups, for Generation X, Millennials, and Baby Boomers, we observe that there is an overlap between these three age groups, which tells us that there are no significant differences in each of their end-of-life perceptions of end-of-life affairs. And since all these intervals fall below the neutral point of 50 once again, all of them unfortunately have a slightly negative perception to end-of-life affairs.
Most interestingly, it is the baby boomers which has the largest confidence interval range, and we can attribute this to the small sample size which they constituted, at only 4.22%. Now, it is also baby boomers, interestingly, that have the lowest confidence level limit, thereby indicating that they are the most close towards such end-of-life affairs.
Well, now that we've finished our tour of the Malayan, let's move on to our next destination. Now we'll be headed to the F1 racetrack where we will be talking about race.
Indeed. And is it possible too that race influences a respondent's end-of-life index? Now notice that all three of you are actually Chinese. Do you all think that race actually influences the ELI?
I'm not too sure about that, since most of my respondents, which are all from various races, all have similar perceptions to end-of-life affairs as I do.
Well, why don't we let the stats do the talking? The bar chart on the screen indicates that there is indeed a difference in perceptions towards end-of-life index between races. And it seems like our Malay friends are the least open towards discussing end-of-life affairs, as they have the lowest mean ELI score at 44.5.
Yes, but is the bar chart simply sufficient? No, it's not. And therefore, we perform additional tests. The first one being the 1 Villanova comparison, where we can immediately glean two conclusions. First, with all the average ELIs across the 5 racial groups, Chinese, Eurasian, Indian, Malay, and others, falling below 50, it can be said that regardless of race, there is generally a negative sentiment towards discussing end-of-life affairs. Furthermore, with the extremely small p-value, indicates that a pairwise difference does exist. But between which race does the difference exist? We then utilize the Tukey-Kramer comparison, and we identify that it's between the Chinese and Malay race that the mean ELI score is actually different. There is no difference between all the other racial groups. Now, to better illustrate this, once again, we utilize a confidence interval.
From the confidence interval for all the different race groups, for Chinese, Eurasians, and Indians and others, there is an overlap of their intervals, which tells us that there does not exist a significant difference in their perceptions of inner life affairs. However, for the intervals between Chinese and the Malays, which are not overlapping, it tells us that there does exist a significant difference between Chinese and Malays, with Chinese being more open to talking about inner life affairs as compared to the Malays. And with that, we come to the end of our tour of the race. Next up, we'll head to Telok Ayer.
Telok Ayer Street is significant in the way that it houses a mosque, temple, as well as church, all on one street, and it will be the ideal location to talk about religion.
Yes. Is it possible too that religion influences a respondent's ELI score? Now, I would think so. For unlike a simple category like age or gender, religious activities are a space for social interaction, and it will be precisely where such normally taboo topics in society will be discussed. What do you think, Gabriel?
I can agree completely. Coming from a Buddhist family, bereavement and death are topics we often talk about, and this makes death overall as a topic less taboo. Therefore, I believe that religion should play a huge role in the differences between the perceptions of inner life affairs for each religion.
Now, that's an interesting opinion, but what does the data actually say?
Well, we've plotted out the mean ELI scores for all the religions of our survey respondents, and it can be seen that there are 3 significant religious groups with the highest mean ELI scores, and these are the Catholics, the Christians, as well as the freethinkers, with the Catholics coming first at an average of 51.8 ELI score, followed by Christians at 51.5, and in third place, the freethinkers at 48.9.
But remember that our original question was that of whether religion influences ELI score. And to get a better conclusion, we have once again utilized the ANOVA comparison, and with a p-value of 0, there does exist differences. Using the 3 main groups which we identified just now, Catholics, Christians, and freethinkers, we can identify that between Catholics and Christians, which are both religions, their respondents' mean ELI is actually not that different. However, for Catholics and freethinkers, and Christians and freethinkers, there does exist a different mean ELI. And what this data suggests is that religion indeed does affect a respondent's ELI score, with freethinkers scoring a different ELI compared to those with religions. This is the general trend through our entire data. We have now finished our discussion about religion, and it is time for us to sadly say goodbye to Telok Ayer Street and conclude this guided tour. Today, we have visited 4 different locations. At Jewel, we discussed the issue of gender. At the Merlion, we discussed the issue of age. At the racetrack, we discussed the issue of race. And at Telok Ayer Street, we discussed the issue of religion, all with respect to ELI score. We hope that you have learned as much as we have during the process of this tour. But while we were the faces of this tour, this could not have been possible without all of the support from the friends and family that we have surveyed and garnered responses from. And for this, we thank you so much for your support. And on this note, we hope to see you again.
Nice work, bro. But from the time that Nana was alive until now, has there been a change in attitudes towards the end of life? Is COVID really changing us? Or is Nana just losing her marbles?
I'm dying to know.
Hello everyone, I am Aaron, and today I'm going to be... Why am I alone Where are my friends? Mei-En!
Hey,
Hello!
Aaron! We're supposed to have a presentation, right?
Yeah!
But where's our friends?
Where are the other 2
Oh, Uma?
Liang Zhi!
Uma is here, Uma is here.
Oh, hi, I'm Liang Zhi.
Sorry, me and Liang Zhi were too caught up talking about what numbers we should be buying for the Toto today.
Yeah, we were thinking about 1821. Be right back. Let me just go and get the 4D real quick. 1821? Why 1821 though? Well, in case you're wondering how we look like because of our face mask, here are our pictures. This is me, this is Mei-En, this is Uma, and that is Liang Zhi. Not bad, right? Especially the first guy.
Oh.
Well, this picture reminds me of something.
Oh, it's the number that Liang Zhi wanted to buy. 1, 8, 2, and 1. What do these numbers represent? What is this mysterious number? Well, here's an interesting fact for you. Did you know that in 1821, Singapore was only 2 years old? What a small baby, right? But for today, we are going to be comparing the results that we got in 2018 against the results that we got in 2021. So, when I was looking through the survey questions, a particular question caught my eye. I was curious to find out what people would think about buying pre-planned funeral packages. So I went and asked my grandma, "Ama, 你會唔會買一個送你個陪套?" This woman was stunned for 3 seconds. She exclaimed, "呢個北後仔，我在生喺呢度，你香港呢啲北嘅嚟嘅話?" I was shocked. I did not expect such a dramatic reaction from her, right? So I quickly said, "Oh, 冇啦，呢個係 for project 嚟嘅，唔使擔心." She looked at me and heaved a sigh of relief, although she still looked a little concerned because on how I would bring up such an inauspicious topic all of a sudden and out of nowhere. But the sentiment that I got from her was that she was still healthy and living at this point. There was no point in bringing up such an inauspicious topic. If you look at the graph, unnecessary at this point was the top reason for both 2018 and 2021, with 42.77% of the survey respondents feeling such a way in 2018 and 45.49% of them feeling such a way in 2021. If you look at the p-value, which is 0.0558, and since the level of significance is at 0.05, the p-value is larger than the level of significance, and hence we do not reject the null hypothesis. Therefore, there has been no change in the top principal reason as to why people say no to buying pre-planned funeral packages. Since so many people think that it is unnecessary at this point, I was dying to know when would be a good point then. I decided to ask my dad, because after all, I couldn't ask my grandma, right? I do not want to agitate her further. So I asked my dad, "爸，你觉得什么时候才应该为自己的丧礼做准备？" He looked up from his laptop and gave me a look before saying, 我怎么知道？老了病了再打算啦，现在那么年轻，打算来做什么？So I said, "Oh, 等你病了再打算是吗？" He gave me a stone cold glance, and then looked back at his computer and continued on working. I could tell that he was annoyed, and I didn't dare to probe further. But from his reaction, I could tell that illness seems to be a very big reason for him to start planning for his own funeral. Which, if you look at the results, his response actually corresponds to the majority of them, with 34.53% of the survey respondents feeling this way in 2021. With the COVID-19 situation, falling ill seems to be very prevalent. Nobody was prepared for COVID-19 to hit us hard like that, and nobody was prepared to face the worst outcome, which was death in this case. As such, this could be why illness was the top reason in 2021 as to why people would then start planning for their own funeral. So, what about 2018 then? I don't know about you, but 2018 for me was a very great time. I remember it was just right after A-levels, and without hesitation, I immediately booked a trip to South Korea. And as you can see from these images, I had such a great time there and had many delicious food like, kimbap, jjajangmyeon, tteokbokki, chimek. Looking at this delicious food makes me hungry again, even though I just ate. While I was enjoying my trip in Korea, the 2018 batch of seniors were passionately doing their StatX project, and here are the results that they got. In 2018, retirement came in first at 29.19%. You may have noticed that in both 2018 and 2021, retirement and illness are the top two reasons as to why people would start planning their own funerals. In 2018, retirement came in first at 29.19%, while illness came in second at 23.12%. Just a 6.07% difference. However, that is not so much the case in 2021. In 2021, there was a reversal of position, with illness coming in at first place with 34.53%, while retirement came in on the second place at 19.73%, a 14.8% difference. Here is the change in percentages from 2018 to 2021. In 2018, retirement was at 29.19%. However, in 2021, retirement is 19.73%. Hence, it experienced a fall of almost 10%. Whereas in 2018, illness came in second at 23.12%, However, in 2021, it came in first at 34.53%, an almost 11% increase. What could have caused such a drastic change in a short amount of 3 years? Well, the only difference between 2018 and 2021 was that COVID happened. So could COVID-19 be the main reason as to why there was a shift in mentality of people starting to plan their own funeral? And with that, so many people are falling ill these days, would they then start considering about what type of gift they would like to receive for their end of life? Uma, please.
Now that we've heard Aaron talk about when is it that people start planning for their funerals, and we have recognized it is when they fall ill, sorry, no pun intended, let's remind ourselves of a line familiar to all of us. 小伟 ，Grab Pay Pay now, 快点还钱. Hearing that line gives me shudders. If you've been to hawkers or shopping malls in Singapore, you'll know that line all too well. But with all of this increased interest in digitalized modes of payments, I wonder, would the same apply to condolence money as well? Apparently not, because in 2018, 58.86% of people said no to receiving digital condolence money. And in 2021, sure enough, the numbers improved to only 49.79% of people saying no to receiving digital condolence money. However, the proportion of no was still so significant that the p-value remained as small as 0.000. And that makes me wonder, how would people react to receiving digital money for their baby's birth? According to our data, 35.48% of people said no to receiving digital payment for their baby's present. I must be looking at too many percentages these days, because tell me why that percentage sign looks like 2 rings and a finger to me. I must be having thoughts about marriage, but wait, I'm only 20. Or I may be thinking about the amount of money that comes with getting married, because in Indian weddings, it's tradition to bring a white envelope filled with physical cash of at least $50, even if it's your father's distant uncle's son's daughter's wedding. And that makes me wonder, how many people would be opposed to receiving digital money for weddings, given that they're so in love with money? Because according to our data, 35.40% of people said no to digital modes of payment for their wedding gifts. And looking at the figures on the screen now, we can compare that for condolence money, 49.79% of people said no, which is a larger number in comparison to the 35.48% and 35.40%. So why? Why are people so against receiving digital condolence money? From my perspective, I would like to believe it's because people want the money to reach their loved ones and not have it get lost in digital space. End-of-life affairs. How open people are to talking about their end-of-life issues. I mean, if someone were to ask me to talk about my death, I would be appalled. I would be against it because, frankly, I'm not open to talking about those kinds of things. And then I realized I really am my mother's daughter, because I asked her, "Ma, are you open to talking about taboo topics?" She said, "Yes, of course. I'm a cool mom." Her words, not mine. So I asked her, "What do you think about death?" "Yen pilla idu pattilam pesra." "Girl, why are you talking about all this?" "Don't you know if you talk about death, death comes at you faster?" Apparently, according to her logic, if death was initially coming at you with a tricycle, the moment you start talking about it, it will start coming at you with a bullet train. However, it really cannot be only me and my mother, right? What is the general consensus surrounding talking about end-of-life issues, with 0 being the least open and 100 being the most open? Where do people stand? As you can see, the Grim Reaper falls exactly in the middle of the scale, meaning people are still on the fence in talking about their end-of-life affairs. Recently, I read a book titled They Both Die at the End, and no, in the words of influencers, I'm not paid to being promote this book. I genuinely enjoyed it. No, like really, I genuinely enjoyed it. But the story of the book goes that 2 boys receive a call from a company saying that they were about to die on that day, and there was nothing they could do about it. And I understand that the gravity of the situation and the effects may not be the same, but every text from MOH could also precede an unfortunate event that we cannot control these days. So with the COVID-19 pandemic being such a common occurrence these days, we would only expect people to improve in how they talk about end-of-life affairs. And let's look at the sample mean because people did improve from 2018 to 2021. However, there was only an improvement of 0.28%, as you can see from the diagram. I enjoy how my life is in the present, but I miss how it was in 2018 when I was still in Malaysia taking my national exams and would very, very irresponsibly say things like,
Aku belum belajar weh, macam nak mati.
Which literally translates to, I want to die, I haven't studied for my exam. To which my friend Sharon would reply, she also hails from Malaysia by the way, and she's my classmate in my statistics group.
Ya weh, aku pun belum belajar lagi. Tak ada orang nak bunuh aku ke?
Again, it literally translates to, I haven't studied as well. Isn't there somebody to kill me? I know there must be someone here that is guilty of saying those things as well. But we can't afford to say those things now because we never know what those lines might entail. This is imperative, especially now in Singapore, where COVID-19 cases have hit a record of 5,000 a day. And hence, it's only logical that we would expect people to be more open in talking about end-of-life affairs.
Mom, why are you so worried? You're gonna be a grandmother!
I know. I just hope she doesn't look like me.
I hope she doesn't look like you too.
Sorry.
Hey, guys!
How are you?
Good. Didn't wait very long.
No, it's fine.
It's good.
You can count on me till the sun dries up the sea. Until then, I always be devoted to you. I'll be yours till endless time.
So cute. My first grandchild, so pretty. I wonder whose genes she got.
Of course you lah, Ma. And maybe some from me and John.
Wow, I can't wait for everyone to see my angel, my princess.
Wait, I thought I was your princess.
Darling, you're my queen, remember? Angel's my princess.
That's more like it.
Ugh, ew, that's so gross. You should see what I know.
Yeah, stop it lah you. It's only logical that we would expect people to be more open in talking about end-of-life affairs. Because if a pandemic won't change us, what else will?
Maybe marriage?
Getting married makes you want to die?
Well, I'm not one to count the chickens before they hatch, but the vast majority of Singaporeans do not think so. Guess what our respondents chose as the most important life stage? Okay, not like I can see a response, but it is marriage. Wow, I guess people do believe in true love after all. Between Beyonce and Jay-Z? Nah. Between Miss Ching and Rick Astley? Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. No. How about between Miss Ching and Kai? No, not this Kai from EXO. I meant this Kai from Stats. Find you a partner who looks at you the same way Miss Ching looks at Stats. However, even though 58.8% of Singaporeans get married, 100% of them die in the end. So that is good news for all funeral companies. Got that, Mr. and Mrs. Ching? Anyways, coming in as the second most important life stage is birth. After all, we must have the chickens before we can get the eggs, right? Last but not least, coming in as the third most important life stage, or rather the life stage that nobody really wants to think about, is death. Here is a random picture of Miss Ching intoxicating herself with alcohol after seeing our term test paper. According to our survey, 44.84% of millennials voted marriage as the most important life stage. Following that, for Gen X respondents, 41.71% of them chose marriage as the most important life stage. And last but not least, our baby boomers, 38.81% of them chose marriage as the most important life stage. However, that is not the main point. What we notice from these pie charts is that the life stage that people don't really think about or don't want to think about is actually death. And more so for the baby boomers, which have a majority of 22.37%. This is not surprising, given that baby boomers are likely to be closer to death, hence they may not want to think of end-of-life affairs. Talking about all these p-values is making me feel kind of vibey.
It's 8:15. Good morning, Miss Ching. This song about p-value is specially dedicated to you. Monday morning, with Miss Rosie Ching, learning all about statistics, remembering, using hypotheses. Don't forget your p-value. I see the true value shining through. Only one p-value will give a clue. Whether or not to reject my love, my p-value compared to
Hey, Ma, you okay or not? Ma, why you got so many of these fainting spells?
I'm okay.
You okay or not? You need a doctor or not, Ma?
Oh, I need a doctor.
You sure or not?
I don't need a doctor.
Ma, I get you water?
It's fine.
You sure or not? Ma, it's too early. Ma, please, Ma, please.
Beyond the sunset, oh glad reunion with our dear loved ones who've gone before. In that fair homeland, we'll know no parting. Beyond the sunset,
I can't believe the day that our baby was born was the day that Ma left. Are you listening?
Yeah, Ma left.
Why do you keep looking around as if you've lost something?
I didn't.
Yako, what's up? You keep turning around.
No, it's nothing.
What do you mean?
What do I mean?
Rex, recently your girl has been hiding things from me.
I didn't hide anything
First,
from you.
you didn't tell me about Ma.
What?
She kept fainting.
I told you that time.
You didn't confirm with me the booking for this place.
I told you that time what?
What are you hiding from
What
me?
do you mean?
What are you hiding from me?
I didn't hide anything from you.
Tell me now.
What do you...
Now, both of you have only been gone for less than 24 hours and you both, you're already fighting.
Ma! Oh, Ma, we missed you so much. Rex, darling, don't be afraid. When we were really young, Nana came back to visit us at her funeral. And look, Ma has done the same thing. I had a strong feeling that she would.
Thank you, Angel.
had a strong feeling that she would.
I see myself here and all that you've done. I love the pastels and I see all of my friends here. I have everything I asked for. Everyone, remember, by the grace of God, we will always be together. My time on earth is over and I'm happy to leave now. But if we've all lived good lives, we will surely be reunited someday.
Wait, Ma, do you remember what happened at Nana's funeral? Do you remember that she wanted us to put the fun in funeral? Were you like that too?
Boy, I'm already grateful for everything. You can do anything you want.
So, what happened at Nana's funeral?
This. Nana! You're here! Miss you so much! Nana, do you remember at your funeral we danced? Can we do that again?
Yes, we'll all be together again someday. There will be this great joyful dance. Today, we need no permission to dance.
That we can keep the fire alive. 'Cause it's not